The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Hey everybody, this is The Ashholes. Each week, they smoke a different cigar, sometimes the same cigar, but mostly different, and they give their honest impression. They always assign an official Ashholes rating to that cigar. So, pull up a chair, light up, relax, be an Ashhole too. It's very rewarding.
Broadcasting live from the Studio 21 Cigar Studio above Two Guys Smoke Shop in Salem, New Hampshire. This is the Ashholes Podcast with another Ash Heels Takeover. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Today, we should be pretty experts on this topic. We are talking about, are women outcasts in the cigar industry? With this hot take from the Ash Heels. With me is the lovely Agnes. Hello.
Hello.
Good to have you back. And some of you might recognize him because this is like his own show. Our special guest, Dan.
A special guest today, yes.
A guest on your own show.
Yes, I'm happy to be here. Well, you know, last week on the show, we were talking about how Outcast was a cigar this week, and Dave and Kiltman were saying how Aaron and I hadn't tried it, and we got to try it as this thing. So here we are.
Here you are, Aaron, behind the board as always. Thank you so much. You're always honorary Ash Heel. So
Leslie of the Corn is asking if Dan's wearing a kilt, and no, he was explicitly
I'm wearing
doing that,
a long sleeve kilt made of denim.
I think it's called pants.
Oh yes,
that's what this is called. Yes. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, we are smoking the Outcast cigar today. I'm really excited to get your guys' reaction on this. This is going to be a fun one. Talk to me a little bit about the Outcast cigar, Agnes.
Right. So, like you mentioned, it's the Outcast Cigar Robusto size, 5x50, wrappers Brazilian Cubra, and binders Ecuadorian Sumatra, fillers Dominican Republic, priced at $10.79 per single and $94.99 per box of 10. And you can find this cigar on 2guyscigars.com. That's 2guyscigars.com.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Has everyone already done?
No. Got it.
I've definitely taken a cold draw.
That was my question.
I immediately identified what the catch is. It's pipe tobacco.
Yeah.
Because it's straight up like Cavendish, pipe tobacco.
Right on the lips right there.
Black and golden Cavendish, something.
A little sweet.
Yeah. I will say, though, like, the band, this was one of the, like, even though it wasn't on the front when you walked in at PCA, this is one of the first things I saw. It caught my eye from across the show floor. Really great packaging.
Yeah.
Love the design. It's a little bit different.
Very, very modern. It's funny you mention that because, I still work in the shop occasionally, and we're getting in PCA stuff still.
Right.
And I saw this come through, and I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, it's a big wildcat kind of
like old
roaring.
School tattooing.
Yeah. I loved it. So I reached for it. I actually smoked this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm excited to smoke it again.
Yeah, and now I know why it's a little bit different, why it's an Outcast. Well, we're going to light it up, I guess.
Yeah, it's time to light our cigar. Brought to you by Perdomo, the hottest brand in the land, a company founded on quality, tradition, and excellence.
One draw, that's the law. One draw, that's the law. One draw, that's the law.
One Draw, That's the Law is brought to you by Abuelo Cigars. You're going to live under my roof, you're going to play by my rules. Abuelo Cigars.
We just got a request in the chat for a picture of the special cookies that we have today.
Oh. Cool. All right.
I planned ahead for this. And so
I'm
here
so
it is
glad.
for those viewing.
Wow.
So on top of smoking an Outcast, we have got an awesome live audience member here, Representative Richie from, is it Tina's Tasty Sweet Treats? These cookies are awesome. I've had a different kind of them, I think, but we love these in particular because it's the Ash Heels honorary cookie.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. Thanks for seeing us live, Richie. That's always awesome to see a friendly face in the audience. But if you need a sugar fix, this is great.
Rich is awesome, and the cookies are awesome. But last time he was in the chat, he was talking about how he had seafood salad with milk, which was we're going to talk after.
Yeah, I've got
concerning.
questions and concerns for that.
Not surprisingly, did not bring that with him today to enjoy.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would pair, with this particular cigar.
To some it does, but you know what? This is a milk-free show, actually, because Dave's not on this show.
All right, folks, you took one puff or a couple puffs. First impressions, what do you think?
I don't know if I'm hungry, but it's literally chocolate double deck
Yeah.
cake, sweetened, but I'm not nauseous yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good way to say it. It's definitely,
It's very rich.
I don't want to say it's flavored because it doesn't, it's different. It's not like, it's even more like Deadwood is a little bit more subtle than like acid, right?
Yes, yeah.
This is even more subtle than Deadwood
Yeah.
to me. Maybe it's because of a recency bias, but this reminds me of Thin Mints.
Okay.
Scout
I can see that.
Yes.
But it's also because I had half a sleeve of them yesterday.
That would explain a lot.
It makes sense.
There's that recency bias.
Yes.
I reached for this and we had no idea what was going on. We just saw the packaging. A couple guys in the shop and myself were like, "This is cool. Let's smoke it." And the wrapper binder filler was kind of unique enough. I didn't quite know what
Brazilian
was.
Cubra. Like
what the heck? So I lit it up, and I don't reach for flavored very often. Sometimes
Yeah.
if it's like what's at the cookout, it's my buddy's cookout, like, yeah, of course, like I'll do that. But this was palatable. Like I really liked, it reminded me molasses notes kind of on that retro hail that I really enjoyed. It wasn't too aggressive on the sweet. But you talk about like kind of chocolate notes too. I get that. Maybe even for me, a little bit of espresso on the retro that I really enjoy. So it's pretty nuanced. I like it. And it's very fitting considering it's called the Outcast. And we are talking about outcasts in the cigar industry. Is it women? And this is we already started to talk about this off camera, but obviously it's a good time to chat about that. Is it still a thing? Was it ever a thing? Do we feel that way? And, Dan has a lot of experience working with women specifically in this industry. So we thought as a special guest and as someone who hadn't smoked the Outcast that, talking about this with you was also a good perspective. So it's not just, one-sided.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like this, I think in September, like right around the expo. Yeah, this year I think the expo is on my cigar work anniversary. It'll be my 12th year.
Wow.
And of those 12 years, I believe 9 of them have been working exclusively with or for women. The first 2 stores I worked at and managed, 100% women ownership. First one was mother-daughter, and the GM was a woman. And then the second place I worked, the owner and operator was a woman as well. And then when I worked at Altadis, the entire marketing team was women except for me. So it's like, in this very male-dominated industry, I've pretty much only worked with women for the most part, other than maybe like Dave and a handful of, and when I worked for Christoph, that's about it.
Yeah.
So I've seen it, like I haven't experienced it because I'm not a woman, but I've seen it firsthand of the differences and how, sometimes unfortunately, maybe someone wasn't taken as seriously as they should have been. And they were all pros. It was the best people, some of the best people I ever worked with were women. And honestly, now I see it on the, especially on the manufacturing side and marketing and even in sales, the ones behind some of the brands that you guys are really getting behind now out there, they were made by women.
Yeah. Right.
Which is, it's hard to make it like, I know, like if I was had to develop a product that was for women specifically, like I just went through this actually with my wedding invitations.
Okay, yeah.
I picked out this design, because I've been doing a lot of the stuff. I picked out the design that I thought like women would like, and it was elegant, and every single person hated it. My mom, my fiance, my sister, everyone. They're like, it looks like a steakhouse menu, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, this is like nice and dainty. It's like I realize like I know how to market to men. I do not know how to market to women. So to be able to do that as a woman in a very male-dominated industry, to make products that people not only like but go after the packaging and design, it's hard to do that, you know, for the opposite sex.
And I appreciate that your experience, you've been on the really corporate side of this industry. You've seen all the way up there. Is different than what Agnes does, is different than my experience in this. And there's so many facets, I think, to the industry that people don't realize are there, because so often you go into the shop or you go online, you buy the box, you smoke it. Like there are so many moving parts, just like anything. Like you said, there's marketing teams, there's branding teams. You've got your retail front side, which are your people in your local brick and mortar. You've got your reps for brands, right? And you've got sales in the background. I mean, there's just so many moving parts, and women are there. It's grown as an industry. Obviously, it's very different than what it looked like back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, but I think seeing that woman's touch, you're kind of talking about
Yeah.
that woman's touch on the back end is really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and it adds a lot more color, and to the experience. And most people who are in corporate from cigars, maybe not at the top levels, they're going from big corporate companies, but people who work their way up to the point, like someone like myself who started in a shop, maybe was on the road, worked for a company, then they became a district, then they worked in the corporate office. They've just been around cigars the whole time. Like the women I worked with in marketing at Altadis, they came from Revlon, they came from seltzer water. Like they had different experiences that they were able to apply to the brands.
Yeah.
And along with that, a feminine touch, which worked really well. Like for Romeo and Julieta, it is a feminine brand, even though it's a big brand. It worked great for that. And and it's even at the ground level, at the store level, like, the women I worked for, like they, especially if they worked the floor, which was the case at the first place I worked in Rhode Island, they know what the woman would buy for the gift. So they're also doing the purchasing. So they know like what gift set will probably sell that the wife is going to come in and buy, or, the stores looked better. The layouts were better.
Yeah.
The decor was better. It wasn't just a couch and a TV and a pile of cigars. Things were merchandised correctly.
Yeah.
Because it is things that guys overlook, and it's so important in every aspect of the sale
This
and
is
the
such
store
a
experience.
visual. It's such a visual industry as well. So you talk about previous experience, and you can kind of almost attest to that, Agnes. Like you came from Chanel, right? And you had a background in luxury. It's still a luxury item, but you did have that background. Do you feel like an outcast in this industry? Obviously, you work a very different angle than what Dan and I do.
I don't feel like outcast right now in my specific role. Initially, when you start working in the role that I am in, men, it's obviously most men, and it's over the phone. So when they hear a woman who is trying to conduct business with them and make money, their initial reaction will be a little apprehensive.
Sure.
Because they don't know you. So I think you hit it on a really important point when you said professional. Once you convey so clearly that you're professional, that you know what you're talking about, that you are in this for right reasons, that's it. It like becomes irrelevant whether you're male or female, because you can have disappointing business deals, male and male.
Yeah.
So then the gender is irrelevant. So I think my moment of feeling outcast wasn't so much as outcast as more like convincing older generation gentlemen that like try to look past the fact that I'm a female.
Sure.
And listen what I'm saying, like follow, like look into how I operate, whether I deliver, and then judge me on that rather than, oh, I'm female,
And that initial knee-jerk reaction.
So that initial, because we are humans, it's by nature.
Sure.
We, there'll be certain roles we'll be like, oh, she's a woman. It's
Sure.
That's what that is.
Yeah, that was the funniest thing to me when I first started. Like this was like the second week I was in the business. I knew nothing. I barely knew how to use the cash register, let alone what cigar was what. And I'm standing next to three women, one who'd owned the store for 50 years, one who'd worked there for 20, and another one who managed it for 20. And this guy walked by all three of them and just went to me. I was like, what do you think? And I was like, talk to them. Like, I don't know anything. Like, I think that's like you said, maybe there's an initial like, you know what, I want to talk to this guy or whatever. But especially like what Agnes does, where you're doing over the phone, and especially like in the sales side, you either are gonna, if I'm a buyer, I'm either going to trust this person to do what I need to do for my business, or I'm not. I don't care if it was a German Shepherd, as long as what needs to get done gets done. But yeah, I think that it still exists. I think it's gone down significantly in the last even the last 5 years. It's total
absolutely,
change.
absolutely. I can even attest to that. Like, so I'm on the retail side, which is different than what either of you have done. And I think Outcast has kind of a negative connotation, but especially early on here, like I could sense that, but it was more of the like, hey, wait, like what are you doing
Yeah.
here? I was young too. That's the other thing. Is
Yes.
like
And from Ohio.
And from Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just like
Yeah, she just-
pile that on.
I mean, I would be more upset that before the show you said you were going to a show in Worcester. And I was
did.
like,
I said, I'm trying to get tickets
oh.
to find I'm trying to get tickets to Sleep Token in Worcester,
Yeah.
even though I said it wrong. So
But
I apologize.
Worcester for those.
Yeah.
who don't know.
Worcester.
But I
yeah.
feel like you guys, it takes long because I've seen it, on the outside. It takes longer for you to almost earn your stripes
Yeah.
with the person coming in,
Yeah.
as opposed to the hurdle that a new kid that was the same age as a guy, they're going to trust him a lot quicker.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I think has changed a little bit, but I still see it. you
Yeah,
know?
and even now, I've been doing this for 5 years, kind of on and off. Like last week, I had a gentleman come in, and he kind of did the dance where we made contact. I said hello, and he skirted by to go talk to one of the guys who was busy, and a little grumble,
Right.
decided to shop on his own. But I could tell he couldn't find what he was looking for, and I decided to go back in. It's not my job to change his mind about
Sure.
knee-jerk reactions to women. It's my job to get him the right cigar, get him the proper smoking experience. And so we just talked briefly about what he likes to smoke, and based on that, I was able to recommend a few cigars. And instantly, whatever that knee-jerk reaction was gone.
Yeah.
But it harkens back to what you're talking about being professional. I think once they realize, okay, she's not just a nice face in a cigar store.
Yeah.
Like she knows what she's talking about. I would say 9 times out of 10, they kind of relent and they listen to what you're talking about. And we
Yeah.
had a really good conversation about sharing cigars at barbecues and, what not to do. Don't put your $45 Atabay in the hands of a guy who might take like 3 puffs, but there's great ways to treat him properly with other cigars that are more approachable and things like that. And by the end of that, he signed up for Stogie Points. He had a bag full of cigars, cutters, lighters, and he was
Yeah.
going to have a great barbecue because of that. And will that change anything moving forward? I don't know. I'm not going to probably talk to that guy again unless I see him at the store. But there is, like you said, that hurdle to get there is just it's a little taller for I think us in the industry. And so I don't necessarily mind being viewed a little bit differently because I think the impact of when you know your shit and you say it hits a little bit
Correct.
harder. And so that's been my experience. I think Outcast has a negative connotation, but it's not necessarily that for me.
Right.
Of course, like you said, you're always going to run into that person, but that's any industry, and that's just kind of
For sure.
a general jerk, I would say. But in my experience here, it really hasn't been that. It just takes a little bit more of chatting and coaxing to the conversation at hand. They kind of let go. And
On the other
realize-
side of that coin, you mentioned, right? Once you are established and people understand you in it for a reason, you love cigars, you created conducting business, you get away with so much shit. Like I screwed up like one sale for like $20,000. It was all corrected, so nobody like suffered. However, just because I'm a woman, I got away with it. Well, I got away with it, and I knew it. And I knew it was because I was a woman. Because on my business account, he just would never see himself like raising voice at me or
Sure.
same situation, differently. So there is like upside to being
Absolutely.
a female once you you get away with things.
So you don't get in trouble.
I don't. Knock on wood, worse than wood.
There's
I mean,
none
I
up
can't.
here. Don't say it
It's
too
so
loud.
good, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. And I do think it has changed in the last 5 years. I've seen that. And I think smoking as a whole is something that's kind of always moving. And
Yeah.
you're always getting new cigars. You're always getting new players as far as manufacturers go. You're seeing, like you talked about, women behind the manufacturing. And we talked about McAuliffe a couple weeks ago. And
Yep.
Amanda McAuliffe.
Right.
Her name's growing. Like we're starting to see
Yeah.
those changes. And it's just kind of always going. It's
Yeah.
there's never a dull moment as
No.
far as what's launched, what's new to the stores, who's the new face in town.
Yeah. Well, I think the other part of it is the reality is our industry is so small. We don't have the luxury to exclude people. You know what I mean?
Fair
and
enough,
in terms of not just bringing new cigar smokers into the culture, but like the workforce. You don't
Yeah.
have this, the pick of the litter of everyone wants to be in this because
Right.
maybe they don't. So it's like if you have someone who's talented and good, like there should be no
You'd
reason
only be
other
shooting
than
yourself in the foot if you said no
yeah.
because they're
unless they're going to steal from you or cause a problem. Like, you should not be deflecting people from this. It
Right.
should be we should be bringing people in and because it takes everybody for all of it to be better.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely. Rising tide raises all ships. right?
Exactly. And you can't just and I think part of it too is as you've seen more women get involved in the manufacturing side and the marketing side, you're seeing new things come out
Yeah.
with a new perspective, and they're working because they have a different point of view. If we just did everything all the same, there'd be no need for new brands. There'd
Right.
be no need for anything. It just sell, the same stuff you've always sold. But
Yeah.
having a new voice, having a new perspective will help ignite the creativity, and it'll help just change, not just change, if there's a stigma or if there's a hurdle that you have to overcome, but it'll just change the perception of, well, what if we did this? What if we did that? It just creates more things.
Yeah. Even from the consumer side, I follow a couple of forums and whatnot, and I think I talked about this on a previous episode, but there was a young woman, I think she said she was 22, wanted to go into a lounge and was kind of asking, I don't know what to expect. Are guys okay with that? Because obviously it is mostly men in the lounge. And the resounding message was, we want more people smoking cigars because that protects the hobby. And
Yeah.
if you enjoy it, then come enjoy it with us. It was very open, welcome, please have cigars with us. Come enjoy the lounge, buy cigars. It protects the hobby,
Just a moment ago, Leslie in the chat says that as a woman, that she's much better received in a cigar lounge than she is at Lowe's, a hardware store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It is such a niche hobby. Like you said, we would be fools to push anybody away.
It makes no sense, And I don't have a good time at Lowe's either.
I hate Lowe's.
It's hard. It's hard to figure out Lowe's. It's very big.
I don't even know what Lowe's is.
It's a Home
hardware-
Depot.
like Home Depot.
Like Home Depot.
Hardware
It's like the
store.
Target to
Home
Depot.
improvement
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
There's a whole aisle dedicated to just types of hammers you want to buy.
PVC piping.
Yeah,
That's why the best
Not
thing
my
you do,
jam.
look up what you want. It'll tell you exactly where it is in the store.
What bay it's in.
Yeah, bay
Yeah.
32, row D.
Yeah.
It's like a living Excel sheet. It's great. But
Yeah.
So it's a good place to finding a date.
I could. I mean,
It could be.
They might be homeowners.
Or
yes.
contractors.
Contractors.
Yeah.
Hit and miss.
Yes. I'm not even going to say anymore. I'm going to get myself in trouble. We should go to break.
Yeah, speaking of that. All right, well, let's take a break. And when we come back, more on this. We'll talk about the Outcast Cigar. You are listening to The Ash Heels.
Only Great Leaf makes great cigars. Aganorsa Leaf stands out because of the distinctive mouth-watering flavors of the Corojo 99 and the Criollo 98 seeds, cultivated by Cuban agronomists on the best lands in Jalapa and Esteli, Nicaragua. When you smoke one of the JFR Lunatic, Guardian of the Farm, or Casa Fernandez cigars, you will experience the unique taste and aroma that makes Aganorsa Leaf different than any other tobacco in the world. Smoke one today and enjoy the signature flavor of Aganorsa Leaf.
Hello, cigar aficionados. This is Klaus Kellner from Davidoff Cigars. I invite you to taste the elements with Davidoff Escurio, Nicaragua, and Yamasa. From water comes originality. Savor the sweet and spicy originality of the Davidoff Escurio tobaccos born by the rains of Bahia, Brazil. From fire comes intensity. Enjoy the bittersweet aromas and fiery intensity of the Davidoff Nicaragua. From earth comes complexity. Taste the earthy flavors and complex spices that are unique to the red soil of the Yamasa region in Dominican Republic. Only Davidoff Master Blenders could take the power of nature and blend it into a range of exceptional cigars. Each element making each cigar a unique experience. Water, fire, earth. Flavors that have risen from the very world itself. I hope you enjoy them as much as I do. Davidoff Cigars. Cigar adventures to a wider world.
Introducing the Romeo y Julieta, Reserva Real Nicaragua, Midnight Twist, a bold evolution of a classic favorite. This unique cigar features a striking barber pole wrapper, intertwining Nicaraguan Habano and Maduro leaves, creating a visual and flavorful masterpiece. Beneath its jewel-toned exterior lies a rich blend of Nicaraguan tobaccos, delivering a medium to full-bodied profile. Experience a symphony of flavors, from earthy spices and pepper to indulgent notes of cocoa and coffee, all culminating in a smooth, satisfying finish. Handcrafted by the legendary duo, Rafael Nodal and AJ Fernandez, the Midnight Twist offers a smoking experience that's as captivating as its appearance. Elevate your evening with the Romeo y Julieta Reserva Real Nicaragua Midnight Twist. Available now.
We're back live from the Studio 21 Cigar Studio above Two Guys Smoke Shop in Salem, New Hampshire. And today we are smoking the Outcast Robusto. If you're new and just listening, you can subscribe on YouTube and follow us on our other pages. And if you have a thought or you want to drop us a line, give us an email at theashholespodcast@gmail.com. We read them. We love them. Please reach out if you've got feedback. You know, love mail, hate mail is even fun to go through, I promise. So drop us a line. Speaking of, Agnes, do we have a letter in the mailbox?
Yes. So it's from Donnie Joe. Hey, ladies. With 4th of July around the corner, I have to ask, who would be on your cigar dream team? Like the 90s basketball gold medalists. Regards, Donnie Joe.
Donnie Joe.
All right, DJ.
Donnie Joe. It's like your starting five for a dream team. So you're one.
Yeah.
So who are the other four people? So it's like a Mount Rushmore.
Are we coming up with our individual five, or are we going to kind of like find a five collectively?
I think you guys come up with your own five.
Okay.
I like this guy's idea. We may use it on a show. So I'm not going to say one.
Dream five.
Dream
people
team or cigar?
Dream team, like
team,
a cigar
like
dream team. Like he said, like the 90s basketball team, right? So like starting five.
Yeah. So what's the goal? To make the best cigar?
I don't know. Just if you're going to put together people and be like, all right, figure it out. Maybe it's,
Whilst you're pondering and deciding, I have the answer straight up.
You have the
I
answer.
don't even care what will be the ultimate goal, creating that team. I am living that on daily basis. I work with Dave Garofalo. He's right next to me. I work with Oliver Nouveau. I'm telling you, like, top two men in the industry, things I've learned. Oliver cooks great steak too, so he feeds me occasionally. Shares good cigars.
Those are side perks.
It's like, it's phenomenal. And Dave is just gift to this industry, even not just cigar industry, just as a person. So to enjoy a cigar, which would be potentially 2 hours, and be in the presence of a person that you could just listen for days, it's beautiful. So I'm super fortunate. So those two men, for sure. And then, I'm not really a lot with the people. Famous, don't know, Winston Churchill could be good. If I could
that
rise
counts.
him from dead. Yeah, I just, he was like
He's
a
multiple
spark.
talents.
Right. And then maybe, I don't know, I kind of fancy Demi Moore, and she does smoke cigars.
She does.
So
she's been,
And she has had such a good comeback, she has revived herself.
That's your five.
So that's my thing.
All right. Yep. I dig. All right. I only have one because the clip of him smoking is so badass in my opinion, and I need him to launch a cigar brand, but it's Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I need Joe Burrow.
The LSU when he won?
Yeah, he started at Ohio State, in case anybody wanted to know. LSU obviously made him a champion. And,
Ohio State or Ohio
State?
The
Ohio
State?
State. Yeah, the
clarify.
Ohio State. Yeah, don't worry. But he seems like a stand-up person. Obviously, he's an incredible athlete. So, I don't even know what we're competing against, but, I don't know if you've seen his clip, but he's, walking out of the tunnel, and he lights up a stogie, and I was just like, why is this kid not? Obviously, I understand why. With, other brand deals, you probably can't go and launch a cigar brand, but Dave needs to call him yesterday and see if he would do a cigar with us.
Maybe after he retires.
Yeah,
Is he retired yet?
No, I know he's out with an injury, but yeah, I'm gonna stick with my Joe Burrow being number one. All
top
around.
draft pick.
It's top draft pick. I had Churchill. Obviously he could be the brains of the bunch. Maybe. What do I need? Two more.
Yeah.
Ron Perlman. Just because.
He's a big milk fan.
Is he? Is he a big Milk fan?
No,
that makes sense.
Just kidding.
And I think we were talking. How about Rihanna?
Rihanna.
Yeah, Rihanna. That's going to be my top 5. It's a very diverse group of folks there. But,
yes.
I was thinking wrong Burgundy in my head.
Burgundy.
That's why.
I know him from Hellboy. That's what I know.
Yeah,
Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman.
Yes.
I don't even know if he's in. I don't even know if he's in movies anymore. But I loved him in Hellboy.
Glass case of emotion.
Yes. Yeah. There you go.
I'm gonna save mine because I think we could do a show about this.
Oh man, Dan being withholding.
I like it.
All right.
I'm gonna keep mine. You guys were good though. I wouldn't. It's like when I thought of it, I'm thinking of people who work. I didn't think about I could just pick anyone. So see, different perspective.
Different perspectives. Yeah.
So
yeah, dream team. I also just would like to talk to Joe Burrow for like 5 minutes and hear about his college days. Like I'm really.
He's got
curious.
a good fashion sense. Well.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he gets sponsored through the teeth, about this stuff.
He looks like a Zara catalog when he walks around.
Yeah.
Like just very over baggy clothes and fancy sunglasses.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to know who dresses these guys when they show up to games because they
They have like teams.
Yeah, I know.
Like, right?
But they're so elaborate, all these
or
outfits.
Or a person. Or they're sent an outfit by Gucci or something like that. Like, please put this on, and they get to wear the outfit.
Maybe we should start doing that before we do the shows, or have a camera on us when we're walking in, so that we can get some, merch deals.
I dig that.
That'd be good.
When
White House Black Market, please sponsor me.
When it comes to famous people, there's nothing's coincidental. Everything they wear, consume, drink, drive, everything is sponsored deals. So once you establish a certain level in a status, like in sports, it does not matter. Everything that you do wear is. With intention.
Yeah.
With intention.
Well, it's like, what's we call it? That episode of Sopranos when Chrissy goes to meets Ben Kingsley and they go to the green, like, this all for free? And they steal the gift bag from Lauren Bacall. It's good. But you know what's also good is Dave's Weekly Six-Pack, which you can find each week on 2guyscigars.com. That is the number 2guyscigars.com. You go to the search bar, you type in Dave's, or Dave, or still right now, Milk. We're gonna have to. Now it's July 1st, so we have to come up with a new secret code word for the ash holes. I'll think about that. Maybe,
what are you gonna? Obviously, you can't say it yet.
No,
Milk
I
is
can't.
pretty iconic.
No, Milk is good for right now, but I'll think about it and I'll update it. So next week we'll have the July secret code. I'll leave Milk on there for now, though. But yeah, so you go there, and it's only for you if you listen to the show. And it changes every week. So, like, if you're watching with us live on YouTube, you can go right now to 2guyscigars.com and you can get this week's six-pack. Or if you're listening, it'll be available till next week's show on Tuesday. But this week in the six-pack, you're going to be able to get the Outcast Robusto. That is $10.79. So I tried to put this together of, like, kind of outcast brands that maybe you don't think about as much.
That's interesting.
You don't think about them as much, but they're good, and they're from maybe they're from a big company, maybe they're from a small company. So Outcast Robusto, that's what we're smoking right now, $10.79. Number 2, the Avo Syncro Caribe, which came out, I think, 2021.
Yeah.
Had a lot of love at first, and it's kind of disappeared into the ether a little bit, but it's a really good cigar. That one's $12.99. Big boys, 5x70. Talk about a sleeper.
That's a big boy.
70 ring gauge.
Big boy.
5 inches long.
Yeah.
This is a big cigar, but it's a big deal. It's $6.49.
Nice.
You have the Baca Genji. This is from Romacraft, the Baca line. This is like a 6x48, it's like almost like a Corona Extra. But Baca, like, usually comes in and goes right back out. So sometimes I think people forget about it because, like, so many of the Romacraft brands, like Cro-Magnon, they get so much of the love.
Yeah.
Some of the other ones fade out a little bit, but that's one. Yaya Robusto, great cigar.
Yep.
$9.49 for that. And then what we're going to smoke next week on the show is the Pau Stanley San Andreas Perfecta. This is another cigar that came out this year at the show. So it's new for us. We'll check it out, and Aaron and I will check it out next week on the regular show, $13.79. So if you bought all these cigars together, it would be $67.84. But on Dave's weekly six-pack, it's going to be $58.99. You save 13% off because that is an Outcast number. It's all thought of. And you can get this deal right now if you go to 2guyscigars.com. That is the number 2guyscigars.com. And now let's do a top 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Here is today's top 5 list.
So, top 5 most popular 4th of July foods via Google AI. Number 5, corn on the cob. Love corn on the cob.
Yuck.
Nothing. What?
Yeah.
Yuck. What? I'll fight you there.
Gross.
With loads of butter.
It's just a vessel to get butter. Just
There
put it
is
in,
no.
Just eat the butter.
There is no sweet corn in existence in New England
Oh,
that
yeah?
is as good as the sweet corn farm I worked on in Ohio, which is about the most Ohio sentence I could probably say. But
Yes.
I've genuinely, I love sweet corn. Love sweet corn. On the grill, you can make it in the
Anything.
microwave, like you can boil
Tuna
it, whatever.
sandwich.
But I've never found anything like Suter's Produce, and I can't believe I'm still talking about Suter's Produce like 10 years after I worked there. But it is genuinely the best sweet corn ever, and I search every year for it. We grill it out.
The only good corn is popped.
I do love popcorn.
That's it.
That's my red light snack. I eat that all the time, like
Yep.
once a day, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, all the time. I've got like a little, like personal popper, so I don't have to make like a whole batch of it. Oh my gosh, yeah, all the time. Love it. So,
Well, number 4, potato salad.
Awesome.
Classic.
I love potatoes.
Classic.
I don't care how they are served.
Really? Don't matter? Any form?
potatoes. I'm Eastern European. We lived on potatoes.
That's
We
true.
survived on potatoes, and we made vodka on potatoes.
That's
It was
true.
potatoes.
Very true.
But there is bad potato salads. Like there's
Sure.
Yes,
like,
Americans don't know how to make potato salad. I'll
how
put
do-
it out there.
How
so.
do you make it? Because I don't like the way that's kind of traditional. I don't know if it's just here or if it's everywhere. If they put the celery in it, and I don't like that.
No. Okay, so I promised to Sarah that I'll bring the potato salad. I will bring it eventually. But I'll make an effort, conscious effort, to make you a proper Eastern European potato salad. We call it rossol. Russians love it. Eastern Europe, like, we pride ourselves on that potato salad. So it will be mind-blowing for you.
All right.
all right.
No celery.
We need to do a
Yeah,
side by
no.
side. Like someone go pick up some market
Right.
basket, like potato salad, and then
Yeah.
what is it? Rossol?
Rossols. It's in Latvian. Russians would say rossol. You know, it's so freaking delicious. It's so good. Number 3, watermelon. I eat it every day.
Yeah?
I love it so much.
Not a watermelon.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah.
It's like the most approachable melon.
No, I don't like any of that.
It's like the
It's fine.
easiest
Like
melon.
it's
Not exactly
is
a
it
melon.
edible? Yeah. Like if I was gonna pick a melon to eat, but I'm not.
Not a watermelon guy.
No.
I'm making a watermelon mocktail for my 4th of July cooking.
There you
I'm
go.
very excited.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Big fan of
Frozen.
watermelon.
Dell's lemonade
margaritas.
watermelon's good.
All right. So you're not entirely a watermelon hater.
No, well, I think any flavor of Dell's, it's a Rhode Island like frozen lemonade thing. Any flavor's pretty good.
Yeah.
But if I had a choice, if a gun was to my head, I would eat the watermelon. But
Good to know.
I mean, you're still not going to be happy
Very
about it.
standard.
Either way.
Standard threshold. Yep.
Number 2, burgers.
Great.
Love it.
Love 'em.
I can
Great.
eat burgers every day. I
Yeah.
might eat them every day. Come to think of it.
burgers are good.
So good.
Even a bad burger is pretty good.
It's hard to mess up a
Right.
burger.
Medium rare. What's your burger?
Oh, yeah.
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 Now they have those smash
Actually-
burgers.
Smash burgers are good.
You know, you're not like. So I don't want to ruin burgers for people, but like, I just watched a documentary on the making of burgers, and they're like the #1 cause of salmonella or something like that.
yeah, because people don't know how to cook them.
Yeah, everybody knows
You don't
that.
cook
It's
it
a risk
right.
we're willing to take.
Is it? Okay. I've been getting my burgers
Yeah.
a little bit more done ever since I watched that. So, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm going to a cookout on Saturday, and my I'm not going to name names here. Some people listen, but someone who always cooks at this party always undercooks everything: chicken, pork, so it's like make sure you eat beforehand. But yeah, no, it makes
bad
sense.
news.
So many people are trying to get it like. Because they're like, oh, if I overcook the burger, it's ruined. It's
I
like,
feel like a
well, maybe if
burger
you just
is
cooked it,
still
if you don't
okay.
cook it, it's also ruined.
Still okay if it's slightly overcooked. Like, it's not like a
Yeah,
steak. It's
yeah.
not like a piece
It's
of
not
chicken.
ruined, yeah.
Like, it's not ruined. It's
Yeah,
still-
because you're
it's still
putting so
okay.
much stuff on
Right.
it. Like,
Yep.
yeah, exactly.
Better safe than sorry this 4th of July, everybody.
Yep.
So.
Number 1 food, despise it. It's hot dogs.
Hot 4th of July, though?
I understand why it's #1. I hate that
Dogs.
it's above burgers. I am burger.
But think about it. When do most people have a hot dog? You gotta have a dog.
I'm literally hosting 4th of July, and we will have hot dogs.
But
Do I love
Gotta
the fact
be-
that we have hot dogs?
This
No.
is also Google AI saying this.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like they're looking
Screw
at like the
Google
big
AI.
hot dog eating contests and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
you-
I don't take.
It's gotta
I'll
be
take the
all
word
beef.
for it.
It's got to be an all beef hot dog.
Absolutely.
Or like a brat or something is better than just like hot dog.
Italian sausage, yes. I'm not a brat. But a dog, come on. Well, especially you got to have it with the New England style bun. You know, that's the buns that have like it's not just, I don't know what you want to call that, crust. It's cut, it's squared.
Yep.
It's the best. You got to toast the bun.
Yeah.
And you got to do the dog all beef and no ketchup.
No ketchup?
No ketchup.
What? No, I put everything on mine.
No.
Like if I'm going to eat a dog,
ketchup is
relish,
ketchup. No.
mustard, ketchup, everything.
You can do everything but ketchup.
That's crazy. No.
I'll
It's
take
blasphemy.
a hot dog bun and put lobster in it.
Lobster rolls, great.
Make a lobster
Yeah, and
roll.
look, there's things missing on this. Like steak tips should be on here, but
Yep.
this is everywhere.
Steak tips is a New England thing.
I know.
though. That's like, I remember I moved out here and I went to a restaurant and I was like, what the hell is steak tips?
Yeah.
And they had to tell me.
Steak
like,
tips.
You're not from around here.
Pasta salad, stuffies,
I don't know what that is either.
clams. You know.
Okay.
You know.
That's very New
lobster.
England.
Come on.
Yeah.
Gotta do
Fair,
it.
fair. All right, well, that's your top 5, folks. Hopefully we inspired you to cook some things. This 4th of July, how is the Outcast treating everybody?
It's delicious.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It's mellow. The sweetness is mellowed out a little bit. I'm about the halfway mark. It is. It's not too sweet, but it's very interesting as far as flavor goes. I still get molasses a lot.
Yeah.
Still chocolate.
Dave said that when like brulee came out, like people thought it was sweetened and it wasn't, or it was. And this kind of reminds me of that. Like when you first like light it up, I think maybe there's something maybe like almost like a Baccarat where it's sweet tipped.
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
Because now I don't taste it anymore.
It was on my lips, now it's like worn off.
Yeah.
It's just like subtly there.
Like it might be on the wrapper a little bit, but now it just is a cigar.
It's not too extreme.
Yeah.
That's fine.
No, but we have to emphasize the fact that it is sweet. Like, you know what I mean? It is aromatically sweet.
Yeah,
so
for
if you're
sure.
not into that, you won't like it.
Yes.
You
Yes,
can't
if you're-
say, oh, it's just, mild. No, it is lingering all
Yeah.
the time on my palate.
Yeah, and it's in the room too.
I know.
I have to say, I love the aroma on it.
Yeah.
That is, it's so sweet. I love that. So cool. All right. Yeah, I'm digging it. So, well, this is the point in the afternoon where it's usually Kiltman's corner, but today it is Sarah's corner.
Red Anchor is the world's first cigar brand, beginning in 1772, now celebrating over 250 years. United Cigar, in partnership with the famed Kellner family, reintroduced Red Anchor cigars, now blended in the Dominican Republic, featuring an Ecuador wrapper, Monte Plata binder, and fillers of San Vicente, Habano 92, and Pennsylvania broadleaf. This 3-country blend creates a medium-bodied smooth profile of cedar, nutmeg, shortbread, and a rich buttery finish. It's time to relish the return of Red Anchor cigars.
All right, I'm going to use my best broadcaster voice for this. I never get to read the news, so some exciting news for you folks today. Aladino Cameroon Reserva returns this month. Backed by popular demand, the Aladino Cameroon Reserva returns in July 2025 with its signature character, rare composition, and elevated presentation. Crafted entirely from Honduran-grown Cameroon tobacco cultivated at the GRE Tobacco Farm. This year's release continues the brand's legacy of exclusivity, produced in limited quantities and available only through allocation. Each 12-count box features a striking piano gloss green finish with a reimagined Aladino logo, merging tradition with modern elegance.
Nice.
I'm a big Aladino fan. I cannot wait to try this.
I'm sure it was a woman who wrote that.
I think this was probably AI that wrote this.
This was
AI is a woman anyway.
press release. But what we did confirm is there's nothing wrong with the paper or the ink. It's the reader.
Is the reader? Yeah,
It's
is that
the reader.
debunked? Oof, we love
Yes.
you, Kilman. We love you.
Yes. He did do an excellent job last week, though.
Yeah.
He did read well.
Yes.
But yeah, the Cameroon Reserve, Cameroon wrapper, binder, filler, all Cameroon, the only one in existence. Those went real fast last time. I'm sure
They
they'll go real
flew. Yeah, I remember that.
which is great because the Aladino 85th is flying right now,
Yep.
too. Because it's
Have you smoked that?
No, but I
Wow.
mean, they only get like 3 or 4 boxes a month, and
Yeah.
they're gone. I
So
think there's
fast.
1 box left, you know. But we get them every month, so maybe eventually it'll pick up. But if you like the limited editions from Aladino, the Cameroon last year was in and out. So
And I have to just appreciate their line real quick. It was one of my intros into this store was the Corojo Reserva, the Robusto. Jonathan was smoking that a lot, and I heard him talk about it on the show before I came out here to interview. And I said to myself, while I'm here, I have to find that cigar. I found it, smoked it, and it's still to this day one of my favorites.
It's incredible, yeah.
There's nothing like it, and I appreciate a line that's willing to have a very, mild to medium kind of base, but throws out that banger of a cigar every now and then. It's just so strong. It's so flavorful, delicious. So I'm excited for their Cameroon.
Leslie in the chat is wondering, how does this compare to Deadwood? And I'd say it's definitely not as sweet.
Yeah, it's if you're looking
much
for
more
that,
approachable.
if you're looking for that sweetness, but not get hit in the face with it, in which Deadwood in some ways is to acid, this is like the same thing to
You
Deadwood.
talked about Baccarat, and I honestly, there's some interesting flavors going on in here because of that, I think, pipe tobacco that we're experiencing. But it reminds me closer to like a Baccarat, where it's almost just the sweetened cap.
Yeah, it's
couple of
not
nuances
offensive.
going. No,
it's
yeah.
just
Again,
sweet
like
and
I
it's
struggle
fine.
with super sweet.
Yeah.
Right.
This is enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're going to review it in a second. By the way, Leslie, I'm sorry I talked negatively about corn. I wasn't talking about. I wasn't negatively talking about the corn.
Yeah.
It's corn on the cob. It's a different thing.
Totally different entirely.
See, I'm a guest and I get in trouble.
I know. Gosh, who let this guy on? Oh, wait, it's his show. Oh, well. All right, guys. Well, it is time to review the Outcast Robusto. Write your numbers down. I already know what mine was going to be about halfway through. And let's see what we're working with. Aaron, do you rate it? Are you kind of our tiebreaker? What are you?
I'll go last because I can't write it down. But well, actually, I can go first actually because I can't write it down.
Yeah.
We're out of Post-it notes. I gave it a 90.
Okay.
So
All right.
very
Solid.
approachable, good flavor.
Yeah. What about you, Dan?
Well, I'm going to go. All right. I gave it never do halves. I gave it an 89.5.
What's up with the half?
The half is I could have gave it a 90. It could be an 89. If honestly, like the sweetness is not overpowering, but for me, it's just not my thing. So I gave it a half. It really should be a 90, but I gave it an 89.5.
Okay. All right. Just make math hard. What about you,
Well,
Agnes?
I'm 90 because I could share your, Dan's view on it. However, I feel like it is for what it is and how it is a 90. I love everything about it. The cute label, the draw was nice. So in that sense, 90.
Yeah.
I gave it an 89. I think it's crafted well. It's not something I reach for, but like you said, for what it is, it's fantastic. I think, especially with 4th of July, if you've got people that are casual cigar smokers that maybe don't love just like a straight up tobacco cigar without any infusion, this is actually a really good cigar
Absolutely.
to hand out to someone who's figuring. Like I know my sister's kind of just getting into cigars.
Yep.
She would love this. This is perfect and it's very approachable. Not too sweet. It's not going to get them used to the like calibre sweetness of like an acid.
Yes.
But it will. You'll still get some tobacco nuance in there while still having some of that sweetness on it. So I think.
Yeah, for sure.
For what it is, it's great.
I think this fills a hole in the market too because it like the packaging is so eye catching.
Yeah.
And for a guy who they're telling you. If you're a retailer and they're telling you, well, I want something that's a little bit sweet, but they don't want to smoke Deadwood or maybe like Tatiana, which has a more feminine feel to it.
Sure.
As a brand, like you can give this to a guy and be like, hey, this is, doesn't look like, a typical sweet cigars packaged, and it's a way to kind of segue in to that. But no, it's really good. I think, and if I was scoring the packaging, I would have gave them a 98 because I think they did a really good job.
The box caught our eye the second it came through the humidor. After the order was unpacked, we all said like, "What is that?" And we smoked it that day. So the branding on this, fantastic. That should be studied on its own.
Yeah, check it out in the 6-pack for yourself.
Yeah, there you go, folks. The Outcast Robusto is glowing reviews across the Ash Heel board here. All right, guys, that is everything with our Outcast episode. Next week, hot cigars for summer 2025. Again, send us an email at theashholespodcast@gmail.com if you got thoughts, feedback, comments. We'd love to hear them. Let us know what you thought of this week's show. Until then, you've been listening to the Ash Heels broadcasting from the Studio 21 Cigar Studio above Two Guys Smoke Shop in Salem, New Hampshire. We'll see you later.
And opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe.